Squid Game.
Squid Game has been blowing up recently, so we're gonna remake it in one day. Now, if you've been living under a rock and don't know what Squid Game is, it's basically a bunch of poor people compete in challenges for money. Okay, so I have to be real with you guys. I can't make 6 mini games in one day. So we're only gonna be making 2. One, probably the most popular, red light, green light, and the less popular one, tug of war. One last thing before we begin. Please subscribe, like, and hit the bell. So the first thing I did was make a Trello list of all the things I needed to do. I slapped that make character in the doing column, put on my sweatshirt, and began the long journey. Then I made a character in Aseprite, which is the pixel art software I use. My brother walked in and was like, "Oh, where's his arms?" And I said, "You expect way too much from me." I'm gonna call the character Little Dude. Now, if you've watched Squid Game before, you'll know that in Red Light, Green Light, they play in this arena. So I remade an Aseprite. So I imported it into Unity and got the player rigged up. So now the player is ready to go. Let's put that make character in the done column. Now for the hard part, or so I thought. Make red light, green light work. So to find a base for our code, I googled how to make red light, green light in Unity. And a unfinished tutorial, it was like 3 parts, but all they were doing was rigging up the character. So apparently no one else knows either. So we're on our own. If anyone wants to know how to make it, you can see my code on GitHub, link in the description below. So all it really was to make it work was a quarantine with a timer. So 5 or so seconds, it changes the text to red light and checks if you're moving. Then it waits 2 seconds before starting again and saying green light. Repeat process. So I thought this was going to be the hard part, but I was wrong. We haven't even gotten started. So now red light, green light is done. Here's a look at it. Alright, so it's lunchtime now, so I made a BLT. Alright, back to work. We need to make a cut screen to transition between red light, green light, so I made one timer and a lot of text later. That's done. All it basically is just the timer, so after 10 seconds, it'll just take you to the game, which is enough time to read all the instructions. Okay, now for the part I underestimated, tug of war. So my thought process is the rope naturally pulls backwards, but every time you click it, it pulls forward. So let's make it. This was pretty easy to make. So every frame, it checks to see if you clicked, and if you did click, it says, "Alright, move forward, rope." And there's also a quarantine that moves the rope naturally backwards. That's the part I thought would be the hardest. Nope, the dang colliders got me again. So what's supposed to happen is there's 3 colliders, one on one side, one on the other, and one on the rope. So when the rope hits the win collider, it sends you to the winning scene. But if it hits the lose collider, you go to the losing scene. Pretty simple, right? Well, no. 2 hours of dying inside and debugging, and it works? Well, not how I expected it to. So I finally gave up during a playtest, and somehow the rope just kept moving backwards, and somehow it worked. I don't know how this happened, but now I'm done with the tug of war. Again, the code will be on GitHub. Menu and title screen done. Loss screen done. Win screen with lots of money done. So I bet lots of you want to play this game now. Well, I'll try my best to get the link there, but it probably won't be there because the game isn't really polished or finished yet. But if you want to see me finish the game, hit that like and subscribe button for part 2. And with that being said, again, subscribe, like, and hit the bells, and let's see the full playthrough.
Everything reminds me of you, but everything is not enough. Feeling out by the ocean,